Hey guys, welcome to my video on BMW's brand new M550i xDrive. This is going to be a first look and first drive video. In fact, I've only got this car for half an hour, so it's going to be really rushed and a bit of a one take. What is the M550i? Well, it has the N63 engine in it, which is a 4.4 litre V8 twin turbo, very similar to what you find in the M5 competition, the M8 competition. Produces 530 horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque. That runs through a ZF 8-speed gearbox and on BMW's brilliant xDrive system, which is very rear bias in this particular car. There's a couple of standout exterior features on the M550i that tell me this is essentially the flagship car in their normal series before you get to the M cars, and they are the serum grey parts scattered around the outside of the body, so a bit similar to an M135i or an M340i. We've got the serum grey grille, we've got serum grey wing mirror caps, and we've got these really nice 20-inch serum grey unique alloy wheels. The M550i starts at around £70,000 here, but this one being a press car actually has about £20,000 worth of options. So you're looking at a car that's about £90,000 on the road, but that's obviously before dealer contributions and discounts and stuff, so don't take that figure too to heart, but it's still an expensive car and probably makes it around £25,000 less than a similar spec M5 competition. So that's what's going to be really interesting about this first drive video, is whether or not you're missing out on an awful lot compared to the M5 competition, especially on the road. This being an LCI car or a facelifted 5 Series, it does have a slightly different front end and a slightly different rear end. So we've got a completely new light cluster. This one has laser lights, and you can tell that by the blue sort of eyebrow accents at the top of the lights there. The grille has also been redesigned, but I think it's still very tasteful. It's slightly larger, but not as large as some modern BMW grilles. And the lower part of the bumper has also been slightly redesigned, but to me, it looks just as good as the previous sort of non-facelift 5 Series, which is always a good thing. The rest of the main body panels, as far as I'm aware, are the same, and around the back you've got a new light cluster and you've got a new rear diffuser. When we jump inside, there's also some changes in there, so things like the sat-nav screen that's got a hell of a lot bigger, but then a lot easier to use and a lot easier to see. Other things you might be able to spot from there are these rather large brake calipers sitting behind these unique 20-inch wheels. And there's a couple of telltale signs like that around the car, like the big exhaust at the back and stuff, that do tell you that this is a serious bit of kit, but it also really flies under the radar. It is a real Q car. There's not too many signs that point at this car being such a high performance product. It sounds really good though, so if the engine's running, then you should get half an idea of how it goes. I think what we need to do now is jump in the car and take it out on the road, because I've literally got about 20 minutes left before I need to get this car back. So let's jump inside and take it off for a drive. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the world's quickest first drive video ever. Excuse me if I do miss out quite a few facts and figures about this car and the LCI 5 Series in general. The 5 Series has actually been around almost 50 years now. I find that staggering to believe, but it is true. And it's been a very popular model in the UK. They've sold, I think, 66,000 to date. So it's a hell of a lot of cars for this sort of medium to large luxury segment, I guess. And their very latest one is lovely. In fact, my first ever official press drive was with BMW about 3.5 years ago, when I went out to Spain and I drove, what was then the new 5 Series, the G30. Now, fast forward three and a bit years, and we're in the facelifted car, and actually the interior feels very similar. I think they've updated the steering wheel, especially in this flagship M550i. And as we talked about on the outside of the car, we've got this massive new screen, which I'm sure people are going to complain about, because if BMW don't change the interior, people say they never change the interior, and now they update things and people complain. But anyway, obviously it has all of the very latest digital cockpit with the funny shaped dials and stuff, which I'm not sure that I prefer over a standard sort of analog or round dial, but they do the job. And obviously you've got a few different options there because it's all digital. This car's got the glorious head-up display, which is just fantastic, especially in a BMW. Well, it's definitely not lacking pace, I can tell you that, and you probably figured that. 530 horsepower. It feels very close to an M5 competition, and in fact I haven't driven an M5 comp for nearly a year now, so to me this feels pretty much identical in terms of pace. Let's just knock it back quickly into comfort and put it over into drive, because that's really what you're going to spend most of your time doing in the 5 Series and in something like this. You want it to be a Jekyll and Hyde car. You want it to be able to just do your daily stuff. You want it to be very comfortable, and in fact on this ripply road the ride quality is amazing. Considering we're on 20-inch wheels with very low profile tyres, the ride quality itself is really nice, and the car just feels lovely. It's a really nice car to feel. It feels every bit as agile and good as the 3 Series. And in fact this car, unlike the M5 competition, has 4-wheel steer, so the rear wheels steer in the opposite direction to the front at slower speeds, and they steer in the same direction as the front wheels at higher speeds. So it really makes the car shrink around you and also feel quite a bit lighter. Right, we're coming into a nice section here, so I'm going to put it straight into Sport Plus, knock that over into manual, pull a paddle, and yeah, let's see what it's like through these turns. That pace, it's just really fast, this thing. Amazing. I mean, it's too fast. It's too fast for the public road. You can't have fun for more than a couple of seconds without breaking the speed limit. But yeah, that performance is there. Its ability is just mind-blowing. In any gear, you've got 8 of them, and when you knock it into 8th gear, and I'm sitting at 50 miles an hour, I'm doing about 1100 RPM here, so it's going to be reasonably efficient when you're not absolutely caning it. But obviously you're not buying an M550i for efficiency. This has a quoted 0 to 62 time of 4 seconds. That's a BMW 4 seconds, so it's going to be conservative. So you're probably looking at 3.8 or 3.9 seconds. Let's just do a little launch up this hill now just to get a feel of that. So making sure I've got traction off. Sport Plus, hold it on the accelerator, and off we go. There was a tiny delay at the start, just almost waiting for the boost to build up, but half a second into that, boom, you're gone. And it just keeps ploughing through gears. I mean, this is limited to 155 miles an hour, as most cars are, but I'm in no doubt that this is a probably 180, 185 mile an hour car, no problemo whatsoever. This is a real wolf in sheep's clothing, this car, really is. Especially in this sort of murdered out black on black, it just looks awesome. I think it's a real good combination between looking reasonably subtle but enough telltale signs to let you know that it's a serious bit of kit, that is seriously fast. Obviously that xDrive system just means that any conditions, any speed, you put your foot down and it just absolutely rockets. What a piece of kit. Just want to do a little shout out to Control and Shift, which is my brand that I co-share with one of my best mates. We now do COVID-19 masks. We do a couple of different designs, and this is one of them. really handy this time of year because they actually keep your face nice and warm as well as keeping the germs at bay. So yeah, head over to controlandtheshift.com and check out the rest of the stuff we got there. Obviously lots and lots of t-shirts and mugs and stickers, you name it, it's there. There's a link in the description below, so make sure you head over there and show me some support. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this very short and rushed video. There will be more content coming on the new 5 Series very soon, and in fact I've actually got an M5 competition LCR arriving in the next few days, so I'm going to do a very good and full video on that car where I'm going to go over things in far more detail. But as I said at the beginning of this video, I've literally had this car for about 35 minutes, and trying to do everything in that time is really difficult, let alone reel off facts and figures and everything to you guys. So hopefully you appreciate and enjoy this video. As I say, there'll be far more in-depth videos coming very soon. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give us a follow on Instagram and give us a follow on Twitter. Both of those handles are just Joe Achilles. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you at the next one.